Hi guys, today I want to talk about the masculine frame. Some of you have been asking what is a masculine frame, what does it mean, and so on. So I want to talk about that. Before we talk about the masculine frame, the first thing you have to understand is what a frame is before we talk about the masculine frame. So in every romantic relationship, there's always one person holding the frame, and it's either the man or the woman. The person holding the frame is the one who decides what happens in that relationship. Where do you live? Where do you eat? Where are you going for holidays? And so on and so forth. So that is the person that is holding the frame. And there has to be one person holding it. There are many concepts around holding the frame. For example, there are people who say that the person who needs the other the least often is the one who holds the frame and so on. But in any case, normally the person that is treated as a prize or the person who is desired more is the person who holds the frame. And what is frame? Frame basically, and now I'm making the shift towards the masculine frame. A frame is an unwritten acceptance of someone's authority. Let me give you an example. If you're driving somewhere, maybe with your wife or girlfriend, and the car breaks down, and you maybe find out that it's maybe there's a flat tire, maybe the car's not broken down, it's just a flat tire, and maybe you've removed the tire or you want to remove the tire, and you open the boot and there's a toolbox, and then you tell her, give me the spanner. She is going to reach out for the spanner and give it to you. She's not going to ask you, no, I don't think we need a spanner, what we need is a screwdriver. It is because she believes that you know what you're doing. Okay, so for example, when you tell a lady that we're going for lunch at Java, okay, if you're holding the frame, she's going to say okay. If you're not holding the frame, she's going to tell you no, Java is not a nice place, let's go to KFC. Okay, and so that is what the frame is. And normally, for example, in the home, the children are in the frame of the parents. If you are in the office, you are in the frame of your boss. Okay, if your boss calls you, you come. If your boss tells you do this, you do that. You're in that person's frame. So that is what the frame is. Now we come to the masculine frame. Why is it important? The masculine frame is very important because women, because of hypergamy, women want men who are confident, men who can lead them. They want men who they can follow. They don't want to be the ones to make decisions, the difficult decisions in the family. They want a man who can make those decisions, and that is why it's important for a woman to respect a man. The respect is not going to be given for free. You have to earn it. And when you hold a masculine frame, that is when a woman views you as an alpha and a woman submits to you. And that means the woman enters your frame. So as men, you have to understand that there are certain basic things you must have for you to actually hold a masculine frame that will inspire respect, and it will make a woman feel safe enough to submit to you. Women don't just submit to anybody, okay? Especially now with the modern women who have their jobs, they have their careers, they have their money, they're probably better educated than you and so on. So what I'm going to do is, for the young guys out there, I'm just going to tell you some of the 4 pillars for a full stack man who has a masculine frame. The first one is what we call the back end. That is your mind. Your mind is very, very important. You need to have, you need to be stoic. You need to be disciplined. You need to be someone who is outcome independent. That means if you set a goal for yourself and you start pursuing it, you don't get discouraged just because there are some signs of failure at the early stages. You need to be outcome independent. You need to be focused. You need to be persistent. You need to be non-reactive. As a man, don't be very emotional. You need to respond rationally. And you need to actually, rather than react, you're supposed to respond to situations. That is the mindset of a man who has a masculine frame. So when a woman observes all these things, that you're confident, that you're ambitious, and that you're focused, that you're persistent, that you're courageous, and so on, they feel safe, and they can then be able to enter your frame. So the mindset is the first thing. That's the back end. The second one is the body. The body is important because that's the front end. The body is what makes you desirable, okay? It's what makes you look like an alpha, and they'll then want to have your seed. So ideally, a man should be fit. You should be in shape. Take care of your looks, your grooming. You need to smell good. You need to dress well. You need to have what we call command presence. So you need to hold your chin up, hold your shoulders back, look at people in the eye. That is your body. You need to have a V-taper, ideally. If you're muscular, it is good. You don't have to be like a bodybuilder and so on. You need to be able to, you need to look like someone who can apply some force if it's required. That means you can protect a woman. You don't look like a weakling, out of shape and so on. If your body is out of shape, then of course, it means that you're not as strong as a woman would like you to be to feel safe. You need to be able to look like you can actually protect her from other men. So that's the body is the second pillar of a full stack man who has a masculine frame. The third one, of course, is money. Money, and this is very important to realize. The money you have is not the money you're going to give a woman. You're not supposed to engage in transactional sex or negotiating desire using money. You don't give women money, but you need money to exact or exploit your own imperatives. That means that you need money to create a lifestyle. You need money to have a house. You need money to have food. You need to have money to have resources. These resources you have are what you're going to then provide to the woman, and that is what that's part of the masculine frame. Those of you who read the Bible, you see like in the Exodus, God promised Moses some land, the so-called promised land. You need to have resources if you're going to become a leader. These resources, of course, can be intellectual, they can be they can be financial, and so on. In any case, in our modern economy, money is very, very important, because if you do not have money, you're going to be a poor man. A poor man is someone who cannot take care of themselves. You cannot have food, you cannot have proper shelter, you cannot live in a good place. So that is very, very important. But remember, money does not make you desirable, it makes you attractive. And that's why we say money is the beta backside of hypergamy. The alpha fuck side of hypergamy is covered through your body and your mind. Remember, for example, I'm taking you back to the body. Superman is very, very strong physically, but because he's blue-pilled, he's a beta male, he's not an alpha. And that's why later on, Lois Lane actually falls for Batman and leaves Superman, because Superman allows himself to calm down and become Clark Kent. He quits, he leaves his costume, and so on and so forth. So the mind is very, very important. But remember, money is just the beta males, the beta backside of hypergamy. So you must both have the alpha and the beta backside. And the last one is, for you to be an alpha, for you to hold the masculine frame, you need to understand female nature. You see, for example, Will Smith is an A-list actor, a millionaire, and so on. But because he does not understand female nature, Jada Pinkett continues to disrespect and humiliate and embarrass him. So you need to understand female nature. You need to understand hypergamy. You need to understand things like preselection. You need to understand things like, not Briffault's law. There is Briffault's law, of course, which you need to understand. You need to understand how competition anxiety works. You need to understand things like passive dread. You need to understand how females play in the psychological. You need to understand shit tests. And you need to understand why it is important for women to always check that they have the right man, and then be able to answer and pass the shit test. So that is what the masculine frame. And you need to understand also that when you give away the frame, getting it is very, very difficult. So a man who wants to be in a stable relationship with a woman, he needs to understand the masculine frame, and they need to understand that they need to hold it throughout. Never give it away, because if you give it away, and of course women will want to take the frame at the slightest opportunity, of course to their detriment. They don't know that it is not good for them to take the frame. But women who do, they end up frustrated, and they normally end up actually ending that particular relationship. You see, for example, Jada Pinkett, she holds a frame in the relationship, but she's very frustrated. So as a man, you need to always maintain the frame, provide leadership, provide the protection to your woman, make her feel safe. Because women are most feminine when they feel that they have a man that they can actually feel safe under his authority. So I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.